Welcome at Twende Shule, the project that offers an online teaching in various subjects. We continue with our history subject, third topic in Form 4, about changes in political, social, and economic policies in Africa after independence. So today we are going to discuss on the social aspect, changes in social policies. We have seen changes in political policies. We have seen changes in economic policies. So here we are going to see changes in social services. So as how the African states after attaining their independence, they tried to transform their political services. They tried to transform their political policies. They tried to transform their economic policies. They did the same even in social services. They did the same even in planning of their social affairs, be it health, be it education, be it infrastructure. So they did the same in all affairs of life. So let us see how the social policies were transformed in Africa. And after seeing how the social policies were transformed in Africa, we are going to see what are the challenges in the transformation of those policies. So let us start with the changes in social policies. First, education system was designed to promote African cultural values, was designed to promote self-reliance, was designed to eradicate racism. So first of all, we were to restructure our education from the colonial system to African system. As I told you that during colonial time, the education system were designed in order to prepare the Africans for the white-collar job. We are to prepare the Africans to become the puppets of the colonial interest. We are to prepare the Africa to work as the laborers in industrial, in farms, in the mining center for the colonial interest. So here now, after the independence, we are to transform our education. We were to redesign our education. Though for a few years, we are still going in the same track, but at least as the day went on, we transformed our education system. We changed our curriculum. We changed our syllabus so that to suit with the African environment. And the reason behind was to promote African cultural values, whereby during colonial time, the African values were neglected. So at this time now, we were to promote the African cultural values. We are also to promote self-reliance. Remember in 1967, when Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere declared for the Arusha Declaration, he declared that now we are in the state of socialism and self-reliance. Then a few years later, this policy was intertwined to the education system. We introduced the education for self-reliance. So if before the African were prepared to work for the white-collar job, now we prepared our African people to be self-reliant. And how to be self-reliant? Is having a practical skills, is having a technical skills that will enable you to master your environment. If you are coming from a village or from a community where fishing activities can take place, you'll be trained on how to fish. And if you are coming from a place where plumbering can take place, you'll be trained on how to plumber. If you are coming from a place whereby agricultural activities can take place, you'll be trained on how to practice agriculture. So African people were trained on how to become self-reliant. But also we are to eradicate racism in the provision of social services. Remember during the colonial time, only whites, they had an access to education, followed by the Indians or Asians. Then Africans were the lean people to be provided with education. Only those sons of chiefs, they were given an opportunity to have education. So here now we are to abolish racism, not only racism, even sexual segregation. So at this time, even women now, they had an access to education. Not only sons of chiefs, even other normal people, common people, had an access to education. So we transformed our education system so as to promote African cultural value, to promote self-reliance, and to eradicate racism in the provision of education. Another changes was on the issue of health services. So at that time, health services were structured to expand modern health facilities for the Africans, to increase the living standard of the Africans, to reduce infant mortality rate, and to eradicate diseases. So the African state, they were to restructure their health services so that the Africans will be able to access a modern health facilities. Remember, during colonial time, the Africans were segregated, were discriminated in the provision of health services. For instance, when you visit in Kenya, the settlers were provided with the better health services, while the Africans suffered in the provision of health services. So now we are to restructure, to redesign our health services system so that even the African, the common people, will be able to access good health services. And at that time, in most of the African countries, the health services now were provided free of charge. So you are sick, you'll be admitted to a certain hospital, you'll be treated, you'll be medicated, then you go home. No one will charge you. I think maybe because the population was not so high, that's why the government was able to provide those services. But currently, I don't think if it will be possible. We are only focusing on the vulnerable groups, including pregnant women, including elders and children. We are focusing on those vulnerable groups in the provision of free health services. But during that time, all people were accessible to free health services, to modern facilities. Like here in Tanzania, in Dar es Salaam, we had Muhimbili Hospital, which provided a modern health services to the people. And in each region, we constructed a hospital so that people will be able to access health services. We are no longer promoting the health services for the whites. We are now promoting the health services for the Africa. We wanted to increase the living standard of people, because when people, they suffer from diseases, even their living standard will be lowered. They will not be able to engage in economic activities if they suffer from diseases. So in order to increase the living standard of people, first we are to improve the health services. We are to reduce the infant mortality rate for those children who were dying before the age of 1 or before the age of 5. Most of them now, we saved their life because we improved the health services in order to reduce the infant mortality rate. But also remember, during that time, we are fighting against 3 enemies. And one of the enemies was diseases. Malaria, smallpox, chickenpox, measles, epilepsy,